Going to be doing a 4K on the BikeErg this morning. Basically, the 4K on the BikeErg is about equivalent, roughly, it's obviously different stimulus somewhat, to the 2K on the rower, but I don't have a rower, and I wanted to have some fun during the quarantine, do some harder stuff, get the heart rate really high. So I'm going to try this, use it as a baseline. I don't really know how it's going to go. I've never done a 4K on the BikeErg before, so I have nothing to base this off of. And I kind of only vaguely remember my numbers from the 2K, which I haven't done in probably close to a year by now. So definitely have some rough memories from doing a 2K. So we'll see how seeing those numbers or better numbers on the BikeErg show up and how that affects me mentally. And then we'll go on to a training block and try and improve on this time. So this is going to be a first for me. So I'm going to start up the heart rate watch and chest strap. As you can see, the drag factor is at 119, which is about on the 6 on the flywheel. I'm going to just change this to watts, just so you guys have something better to look at, I guess. Power weight ratio, now average speed, max watts, there we go. Max watts. It's not probably going to change much more than the drag factor after I get out of my initial hard start. I plan on going for about 10 seconds hard just to get the flywheel going, and then settle into something that I can hopefully hold on to for 4K. Like I said, I don't know. Never done this before. Might hit a wall, might blow up, but that's part of the learning curve. So maybe I should get a puke bucket so that I have something just in case. I'll go get that right now. Puke bucket. All right. And I know the lighting isn't great in here, but it's I don't have much lighting in the living room, and it's overcast day outside with the clouds, so not a whole lot of outside light getting in here. So it looks real creepy and grainy, and real excited about that. Part of my Rogue order showed up on Friday, waiting for the rest of it. Pretty excited about that. All right, anyway, now I'm just procrastinating, not wanting to do this, so we're gonna adjust the strap and get into it. As you can see, wearing the Concept 2 t-shirt, hopefully this makes it less painful. Something tells me it's not, so let's do this. Confirm selection. So now you guys can probably see my heart rate as well. Select workout, standard list. Oh, it's not in the standard list. Custom list? It's not in there either. New workout, single distance, 4K. My lips are getting dry already just thinking about this. Yes. Okay, let's calibrate this. Okay, cool. Calibrated. All right, so this is future Zach chiming in on my past performance. So I'm going to periodically start talking about what was going through my head in this. So here we have the chart of both my heart rate, my pace, and my RPMs. Looking at it, I'm actually pretty happy with it. Stays pretty consistent throughout. Obviously there's a bit of creep upwards on the heart rate, but that's inevitable as it gets harder and harder to keep up the pace. And yeah, so this starting portion, I was actually feeling really good. It actually ended up feeling so good that I thought it was going to come back and bite me in the butt. Just having done a 2K before, my best 2K was 6:52. So seeing these numbers on the screen were really anxiety inducing, just because I know it's nowhere near what I could do on a 2K, but it being basically equivalent with for speed and time wise. So on the rower you're going to be seeing your splits per 500 meters, and on the BikeErg you see your splits as every 1,000 meters. So you're going basically twice as fast. So to get into the same sort of threshold zone, you're going to be doubling the meters to keep the time domain the same. So we're coming up on the first K here. At this point I think I was thinking about slowing down a bit, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold this. I really had no idea what I was doing. It was scary to pace it, not knowing how my body was going to react as I was getting further and further into the workout. And I talk about it afterwards in some of my immediate post-workout thoughts. I had done a workout last weekend that was 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off of a 1,000 meter BikeErg, and then the remaining time was as many bodyweight squats as you could do, and then you rest 3 and go again. So this is 137 was what I was holding pretty much for that workout. So I knew that I could hold it. I didn't know how long I could hold on to it for, so I knew if I could at least get my first 1,000 meters around that and then go for it from there, that was probably a solid plan. But then as we're coming to about the halfway point here, this is when I really started to get worried, because I wasn't feeling the effects of any lactic acid buildup or anything like that. So I thought I was about to, at any moment, just hit that wall, and it was going to hurt a whole lot. So yeah, this is getting close to the point. You can see my pain face is starting to hit in. I guess my body just deals with the lactic acid really well, because I don't know how much faster I could go even for a 2K. So I'm operating pretty close to threshold here, and I'm actually, in hindsight, really impressed that I was able to do that. Like I said, looking at the graph, everything stayed fairly consistent throughout it, not much change. And as you can see here, now I'm starting to really get worried. I'm still not feeling it like I would in a row, so I'm starting to get really afraid that I'm just going to suddenly blow up. It doesn't happen. Spoiler alert, it doesn't happen, I don't blow up. But at this point, I'm really starting to get afraid of that feeling, and that it's going to hit me in any second now. Coming close to 1.5K left. So in my mind, I'm about, if this were a row, it would be around the 750 meters remaining point, which is when it really starts to get bad. Obviously, the technique of rowing is the triple extension and the pull. It's overall, like at the end of this workout, I felt pretty close to how I felt after a 2K, but the actual muscular endurance feeling is very different. And getting close to the last quarter, as you can see, I'm really starting to, in hindsight, it wasn't hurting that bad. I'm, again, just bracing for the impact, that I'm going to hit it at any moment, and my split is going to fall off to like a 150 or 2 minute, as I'm not able to hold it up anymore. But like I said, I end up being able to hold this the whole way through, and really impressed that I was able to. There's only a little bit of fall off. I guess my best split, I think, is the second or third one. I think it's the second one. I can't see it on the screen as I'm doing this voiceover, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm fairly sure it's the second one. And I slow down a little bit from anticipation of hitting that wall, and then the next 2 splits I'm slowing down, mostly because it is actually becoming hard. But as you can see, almost 500 left. I think it's around the 200 mark or 150 meter mark, I'm able to give it a small little kick at the end. Nothing huge, but enough to know that I had a little bit in the tank. But the fact that I'm only able to make that kick so close to the end makes me believe that I paced this pretty well. So we're getting close here, as you can see. Like, most of this is just fear of anticipation, the pain phase. My legs actually felt pretty good at this point. They probably feel about the same as they did around the 3K mark, like 1K in, 3K remaining. There was never really that much of a buildup of lactic acid in my legs to that point. So yeah, it's around here. I think I pick it up a little bit. Close, maybe? Okay, maybe it's even closer to 100 that I start picking it up. Anyway, there we go. The last little kick. Yeah, so pretty happy with this overall. And enjoy the post-WOD drama. Oh shit. Okay, that was weird. I changed the setting and it paused the video. I need to get up and walk around. Okay. Or at least stand. Although if I'm trying to talk, I can't really do that. So, 6.5 minutes, 6:33. Max watts, just under 500. Let's see if there's any other interesting stuff. 25 miles per hour, average 22.8, drag factor of 122, an average of 4.38 watts per kilogram. I think that's based on 170 pounds. I'm slightly heavier, so that might be off. Probably around 175. Being in quarantine, who knows? I might be 185. I doubt it, but there we go. 633 point something. I'll check it on the screen. Yeah, first 4K. I kept on expecting to blow up. Especially by the time I got halfway through, I really thought there was nowhere for me to go except straight down. Somehow I was able to hold on. Oh, excuse me. I was expecting to be able to hold, oh man, gassy, hold somewhere between 140 and 143. But it just ended up being a lot faster. I had done a workout last weekend. It was 5 rounds of 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. Completed 1,000 meter bike, and then in the remaining time, as many air squats, bodyweight squats as possible. And I was holding about a 137 for that, so I thought that was maybe aggressive because I would be doing it, then do squats, which I could kind of slow down on the squats if not like I had a choice. It was a lot of leg pump, and then I had 3 minutes to recover and to redo it. So maybe it felt hard because I was doing the stop and go thing versus here was just continuous, and I didn't really get a chance for it to hit me. until later. That didn't even make sense. But anyway, yeah, kind of inspired by Cameron Buchanan from Great Britain, who's a rower. And last week, he just pulled a personal best 2K in his kitchen. So I was like, that's pretty inspiring. I'm going to try that, but obviously don't have a rower. So I decided to do the 4K on the BikeErg. Yeah, first time, I guess it went well. Went faster than I expected. Way better than my 2K time on a rower. I'm only about 175 pounds, give or take. I haven't weighed myself in a while, so I'm actually not sure. For a while, I was holding around 170, but I haven't been as strict with my diet lately, so I expect to be a bit heavier. So maybe between the 175, 178 range, maybe like 180 plus after a big meal. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, so what did I do before this? Work was pretty busy. Thursday, Friday, actually no, just Friday. It was, ended up having a 12-hour shift, but the day before was all right, but I wasn't feeling great, so I had taken that time off. And then the Friday, not planning to, but because of work, ended up taking Friday off as well. So yesterday, just to kind of get eased back into it, did some easy stuff like kettlebell squats and some light kettlebell snatches, some pull-ups, just to kind of get back into the swing of things. And then I did a really easy, I got sweat in my eye, a really easy 50K, just almost at just under a 2 minute per 1,000 pace. Just get some blood flow after having had to take 2 days off. So, especially when it's not expected, like I feel when you plan to do something like take time off, it's like it's easier to ease back into it unless you were like really pushing it before taking that day off. But 2 days in a row, especially one with not planning, wanted to ease a bit in back into it. So just did some really easy steady state yesterday. And then it's like, yeah, gonna do this today. To warm up, I did a 5K, 200 meter sprint, 1,000 meter recovery pace. So almost again, like what I was doing yesterday, a 2 minute per 1,000. And then, so that was basically 5 intervals non-stop to make 5K. And then took a short break, went to the bathroom, got the puke bucket, started this up, did the 4K. Yeah, I might add some thoughts later. Probably not. And then, I don't know, I've been doing the team challenge, so I'm trying to rack up as many meters as possible. So I might do some more recovery pace stuff just to rack up some more meters. Maybe 30 kilometers today total between this workout and some of that. But for now, I'm gonna walk around a little bit because I've been kneeling, and flush out the legs a little bit, and then eat, rehydrate. As you can see, my body's catching up to the amount of heat it's producing and trying to cool me off. So I'm getting sweat over everything and everywhere. I'm gonna pause it here. This is the first 4K. We'll try and see if I can improve on this. And then maybe in a couple weeks, try it again. Right now, if you ask me to go in, I'd be like, no. Not even for like a 7 minute or 7.5 minute 4K. Not happening right now. Anyway, catch you guys later.